people just are looking for something and nobody wants to say it, which is that for whatever reason, immaturity, being the guy, the COVID issue, for whatever, nobody wants to say this. Jayson Tatum has not played like a superstar this year. He hasn't. He's seen flashes of it. We know what he has been. We know what he can be. He's still crazy young, but this is a transitional year for Jayson Tatum as he continues to figure out who he is going to be. And that's the reality of it, is that Jaylen Brown, all-star level, first few weeks of the season, and he dropped off when Marcus Smart got hurt, which I think was not a coincidence. And the reality is it's on those two guys, and they've been all-stars. You have two all-stars. You should be one of the best teams. Really? Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker were all-stars. Paul Pierce became a true leader and one of the really great players in the league in the 05-06 season, his second year with Doc, when he kind of got his head together. I'll tell you two things about that. Number one, he was 28 when that happened. And number two, Celtics didn't come close to the playoffs that year. And that was a really good year for Paul Pierce. So I know patience is no good. You can't preach patience to all of us who've had to wear masks for the last 14, 15 months. We're all sick of it. We have no patience for anybody or anything because of the times we're living through. But I would phrase it like this. The Sixers right now are on a different level. They're an elite championship caliber team. And that drives Celtic fans crazy. Because you know what Celtic fans forget? The last few years when you have been beating their ass over and over and over and beating them 8 out of 9 in the playoffs. Joel Embiid did the Pedro, they're my daddy thing last year. And you don't think eventually you can't beat everybody all the time, every year, over and over and over again. And the Sixers are geared up to play the Celtics because they've been beaten time and time again by the Celtics. Remember what happened last year? They won the first 3 games of the regular season series and sent out a tweet. Right. The team sent out a tweet saying, we won the regular season series for the first time since whatever. How'd that look after the sweep in the playoffs? You know, they dropped the confetti early again. So, you know, when I talked about this when I first came in the league, the Bulls had been so good, right? The Jordan Bulls had just finished their run when I first came in the league. And Sam Mitchell, who was on the team I was doing, the Timberwolves, said when we were going into Chicago, and they said, if you can beat the Bulls by 50, he didn't care who was still on the team then. If you can beat them by 50, you beat them by 50, because when the new Big Three Celtics went into Chicago or Charlotte and they won the game by 30, we went on to the next town. That team remembered it. And the same way the Sixers remember all those games. So eventually you're going to have to take a beating one of these years. And here's a year where the Celtics, in my view, still have a pretty good shot to get in the final 8. Final 8. We don't care about the final 8. We're Boston. Final 8 out of 30 with where this team was over the last couple of weeks. That'd be a heck of a save of this season. And it's still very possible.